This week on the Spotlight, Jose Abreu keeps winning the hardware. We'll talk to him. And this week we're talking with Tyler Flowers. He had a particularly big Monday. Homer, triple, single. Robin Ventura's throwing BP. And Frank Thomas a couple years ago said this nice thing.
Congratulations, Pat. 1,000 shows. I mean, you've been around a long time. I think I've seen most of them.
Check out my website, benkowski.com, for my weekly article and up-to-the-minute trivia sites. From wherever Chicago's sports teams are making news, this is the 25th year of the Lansing Floral Sports Spotlight. Flowers for every imaginable occasion at Lansing Floral Shop. Call them at 708-474-1212. They deliver. The Cove has Benkowski Trivia, a special showing, Thursday, August 7th at 8 p.m. Great people, great game, right over by the lake at 1750 East 55th Street. Come on out to the Cove and play our contest. You've got to get to Wax On, Wax Off Salon and Spa at 1044 West Taylor Street in Chicago. The phone number 312-226-1473. With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. You know Huck Finn is open. The T-Wax Company has money-making opportunities in the area of real estate. Buy Chicagoland properties. Profit opportunities since 1985. Call my friend Mr. Thomas at 773-456-3057. Want to make money? Call the T-Wax Company. Union Park Bar and Grill, a great place, open at 11 a.m. daily at Jackson and Racine. A huge full bar, tons of screens, great sandwiches and appetizers, great staff. They got a parking lot, daily specials, always fun. I always have a good time at Union Park Bar and Grill. You've got to get to Amelia's Bar and Grill. They're open for lunch and dinner daily at 46th and Halsted. Limo de Cerdo, Potrero and Mar, Ceviche al Limon, Salmon al Carbone, a new cocktail menu, margaritas, martinis, sangria, and so much more at Amelia's Bar and Grill, 46th and Halsted. Lisa Davis, Insurance and Tax Services, can help you at 107th and Western, specializing in rollovers, tax recovery, tax resolution, and insurance for your business, auto, home, or life. Call them at 773-873-8977. They'll help you like they helped me. Lisa Davis Services. We're back on the Spotlight, and no surprise, Jose Abreu, Rookie of the Month for July. Jose Abreu, American League Player of the Month for July. Guy's piling up some hardware, and an amazing rookie year. If he's not Rookie of the Year, there needs to be a major recount. But anyway, 4 months into this thing, Jose Abreu still winning stuff, still playing at a very high level. And so, of course, we talked to him about being the reigning guy in those 2 categories.
Are you surprised? You just surprise yourself, or have you always had the confidence that you could be an elite player in this particular league?
¿Esto ha sido una sorpresa para ti o tú siempre has tenido la confianza de que tú podías ser un pelotero de alto calibre aquí en las Grandes Ligas?
No, como te puedo decir, no me gusta hablar sobre mí, ¿no? Yo creo que yo siempre tengo el aquello y nunca me doy por vencido las cosas. Yo siempre soy una persona que confío bastante en mí, ¿no? Y yo creo que los resultados que están llegando ahorita mismo, coño, las gracias a Dios y créame que no esperaba tan rápidamente tener estos logros, pero sí tenía la fuerza y la mente bien clara que los resultados iban a dar poco a poco.
I don't really like to talk about myself, a lot, but I am surprised, I wasn't expecting to have, all this success and definitely all these awards, but I am very thankful to God, that happened, and I just continue to go about my day the same way, and continue to work on my routines.
Are you still getting more comfortable, even though you've had a lot of success, and you continually getting more comfortable each time you're out there?
Con todo el éxito que tú has tenido, ¿tú continúas sintiéndote más cómodo cada día?
Sí, yo creo que sí, nos sentimos más cómodos cada día y más enfocados cada día y por eso tenemos los resultados que tenemos, gracias a Dios. Y estamos en la competencia como equipo que es para uno lo más importante y nos motiva a lo particular cada día para salir del terreno con más fuerza y con más ímpetu para obtener los resultados.
Yes, every day I feel more comfortable. You know, it is, and I'm able to concentrate a lot better. You know, and which allows to continue to compete. You know, for the team, which is what we're here for.
Was he ever able to watch video in Cuba, or do they not do that? And has that helped him here?
Cuando estabas en Cuba, ¿tú veías videos de aquí de la liga, de las grandes ligas aquí o de algunos de los lanzadores aquí? Y si los pudiste ver, ¿te ha ayudado eso aquí?
No, yo veo bastante videos sobre este béisbol. Todos sabemos el tipo de béisbol que que es el mejor béisbol del mundo. Y yo veo bastante videos sobre este béisbol para mejorar uno como pelotero cada día.
Yes, I used to, see quite a bit of videos of the baseball here. You know, nobody in a specific, but I used to just watch just to learn from it, more than anything, and it helped me a lot, quite a bit, while I was in Cuba.
How many adjustments have pitchers made to him, and how can you speak about his own adjustments to that?
¿Qué tanto ajustes han hecho los lanzadores contigo y que si tú obviamente te has ajustado a ellos también?
Bueno, no sé, en realidad no sé los ajustes que hacen los pitchers contra mí. Yo creo que es cierto que deben hacer ajustes, pero no, yo no me enfoco en esas cosas. Lo que me enfoco es estar saludable día a día y competir con los White Sox, que es para mí lo más importante.
You know what? I really don't know. The adjustments that they made on me. I just know that I concentrate on myself. I concentrate on my strength. When I go there, and I'm sure they're making adjustments and things like that. But I try to stay with what I do good.
How much does he? When we talk about video, how much does he watch himself? You know what I mean? Watch his at bats and see, if he needs to fix something or things like that.
¿Qué tanto tú ves videos tuyos ahora mismo para en caso de que necesitas arreglar algo, lo que sea, cuando estás bateando?
Yo lo hago todos los días cuando yo me levanto, todos los días, cada vez que tengo la oportunidad lo hago. Ver videos porque es la única manera que uno puede mejorar los errores que tenemos en cada partido y eso lo hago día a día para ser mejor cada día.
I do it every day. I do it in the mornings. When I wake up, I watch myself. In the videos. And I watch the picture that I'm gonna face and all that stuff, so I can continue to get better.
His batting averages come up over the last month.
And we will have more Jose Abreu, a very interesting guy with very interesting thoughts and tremendous poise as he marches through the American League 4 months into the 6-month season with a great shot as Rookie of the Year. You got to get to Lindy's Gerties, 110th and Kedzie in Chicago. Burgers, hot dogs, salads, chicken, steak, a kid's menu, and then the great summer stuff, shakes, floats, soft serve. All there for you at Lindy's Gerties, 110th and Kedzie. You've got to get to Lansing Floral Shop. Open at 8 a.m. daily. Besides a great array of live flowers, they have custom silks, Bridgewater candles. They want you to plan your parties early at a wide delivery area. They're located at 3420 Ridge Road in Lansing, or you can call 708-474-1212. Weddings, funerals, birthdays, anniversaries, and guys, try the No Reason flower. Believe me, it works. Lansing Floral Shop. Give them a call, 708-474-1212. You've got to get to Union Park Bar and Grill, open at 11 a.m. daily. A great, delightful staff at Jackson and Racine. Huge full bar, tons of screens, great sandwiches and appetizers, a parking lot, daily specials, always fun, great food and people. Union Park Bar and Grill. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass. They come to you. You call them at 773-908-6081. Lowest prices, new and used. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They'll do your windshield, back window, or sides. They did a great job for me. They'll do a great job for you, and you'll be amazed at how quickly they come in and finish it up. Cornelio's Mobile Auto Glass. Nuevo Leon, for the best Mexican cuisine since 1962. Serving every day from 7 a.m. to midnight. Conveniently located 1515 West 18th Street, just a block east of Ashland in Chicago. Of course, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and a wide range of menu items. Everything from steak, seafood, to breakfast, to chicken, pork, dine-in, carry-out, tacos, enchiladas, everything you can imagine, and great quality at Nuevo Leon, 1515 West 18th. We're back on the spotlight. It's time to talk White Sox baseball. Tyler Flowers has had a very intriguing year. He started off red hot, and then he got ice cold. And now he's heated back up again, but it has been an odyssey. And maybe with it all, Tyler has also become the true field general of calling the vast majority of pitches for a staff that's been pretty solid amongst the starters, at least the top three, and maybe not that great with the relievers, with a couple of exceptions. Some of the late game situations have gotten away, and Tyler addresses that in a very upfront manner and talks about his season at the plate, actually behind it and at it. So here's Tyler Flowers. We're back on the spotlight. We're talking White Sox baseball. It's August. Some call it the dog days, but I think other players would like to say it's time to go out and fight and hit and scratch and claw. And Tyler, you guys are, still in the hunt. The team has been kept intact through the first trading deadline. So, a couple weeks ago, Robin said, "I like my team," and maybe he said it just enough so that nobody got dealt. But, I know it's a tough road, but mathematically, you guys can get this done.
Yeah, just go out there and win games one day at a time. That's the big thing. Everyone says it, but there's a lot of truth to it. Yesterday, I got our butts kicked, and it's over with, and it's a new day today. We've got a new team in here, Texas. It's a good club. We've got to show up, play our best ball, and take it one game at a time.
Exactly. Talk a little bit about your season. You've had some great success. You've had a down month or two, but you keep battling, and every time you come to the plate, there's a threat of an extra base hit, and the other teams are clearly aware of that.
Yeah, it's been up and down, and that's the game of baseball. Though there's so many ups and downs. The key is when you're down to try and get back up as quick as you can. And the lows aren't ever as bad as you think, and the highs aren't ever as good as you think. So just trying to keep that level-headedness, I think will help me in the future be a little bit more consistent to avoid a month and a half of really struggling. But those are things you learn from. You learn from the failures and the adversity, and I think I've taken away a couple things from that tough stretch I went through. I'm applying some good things right now, and definitely trying to take note of what I'm doing to have this success. So when that low time does come again, I can get out of that a little bit quicker.
Well, I'll be sitting on the couch and watching a Sox game, and as much as I get a kick out of the 450-foot home run, there's something special to me about a two-out situation, bases loaded. There's two strikes on you, and you cut back in the swing and go up the middle, and just it's a backbreaker to the other team when you get that late hit that puts your team in front. And I've seen you do that a few times.
Yeah, those situations, you try to not make them any more than they are. If you're up there bases loaded with two outs, of course you'd like to come through with the big hit right there. And guys before you had opportunities as well. So, you try and cash in on every one of those. It doesn't always work out that way. But I think the important thing is don't make that situation more than it is. It's two outs. Essentially, you can think of it as a runner on first or nobody on, really. They don't want to walk you. Those kind of things come into play, and those are the kind of things that maybe help, myself and other guys calm down a little bit and keep that situation in perspective.
Who's particularly good, either amongst the coaching staff or teammates, about saying those kind of things to you that have reassured you and made you a more controlled hitter in those key moments?
There's a lot of guys, from teammates. You got Konerko, who's been there, done that. Really does a good job communicating with a bunch of us, myself included. And, Todd Steverson's doing a great job with those kind of things, really implementing routine and simplicity. And another guy that doesn't typically say a whole lot, but Harold Baines. He's got some great knowledge, and he's not too far removed from being the dominant hitter he was too. So he's able to give some insight in certain situations, or even against certain teams, how they end up trying to pitch you. Maybe he catches on to a pattern a little bit sooner than some of us do. And the whole group as a unit, we all really work together and try and share as much information as we can to help each other succeed. And that goes to staff and players as well.
Speaking of sharing information, I know that before games, and as you pointed out, usually at the start of a series, you're going over the opposing hitters. Who does the most calling of pitches or giving you help from the bench when you're making the calls, especially in the late innings?
Well, nobody calls the pitches but me. So, on good days I like it, and bad days I hear about it. So, yesterday I heard about it a little bit, and that's part of the gig. You get a small pat on the back when you're doing well, and you get a big kick in the rear when you don't. So,
that's life, Tyler, and we'll have more of Tyler Flowers next week, right here on the Spotlight.
With a 30-year Southwest Side tradition, Huck Finn is open 24 hours to serve you with great breakfasts like the Becky Thatcher, soups, great lunches, 1/3 pound burgers, clubs, and much more. Dinners from seafood to steaks to pasta, great donuts, and ice creams. With 3 locations at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero. Stop in today. Huck Finn is open. Go play at Red Shoes Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski in Alsip, featuring 16 Brunswick Gold Crown pool tables, drop fluorescent lighting fixtures, and the fabulous Grade of Cloth. Call 708-388-3700.
And now video gaming is available at Red Shoes from open till close. And don't forget, the Illinois Lottery, too.
That's Red Shoe Billiards, 12009 South Pulaski.
Little Frank's Pizzeria and Bar. Easy to reach, 6353 West 79th Street. On Thursdays, $1.50 Miller and Old Style. Trivia alternate Thursdays at 8 p.m. They have $15 large pizza and pitcher all day, every day. Little Frank's on 79th. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie does tune-ups, transmission, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes, and emission system repair. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and they've done a great job for me. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie. We're back on the Spotlight. It's time to talk managing. Robin Ventura is in year number 3 of his time with the White Sox as a major league manager. In year 1, his team was in contention all year and then kind of blew up in the last couple weeks. Last year, they were never in it, and it was a downer of a year with 99 losses. This year, quite a perk up. Some great new faces, led by Jose Abreu, and some improvement in the pitching staff, but with a huge asterisk, the bullpen. So Robin fields a bunch of questions about Abreu, relievers, what they're going to do next. And as usual, all on a very cool, even keel.
Another award for 2 awards for your hitter. No surprise, I'm sure.
No, I mean, you're not surprised. I mean, you're happy for him. He deserves it. He's had a great month. He's had a great year. I think, part of it is he's had a great month, and, he gets rewarded for it. But, all of it is nice, but I think just the kind of teammate and everything else, it makes it better. I think guys are happy for him.
Do you think really good hitters get themselves out, or the pitchers get them out? Is there a difference between the upper echelon of hitters?
Sometimes the pitchers get you out, and sometimes hitters get them. They can get themselves out. This month it's been mostly pitchers getting him out. I don't think he's had too many at bats where he's gotten himself out of going after stuff out of the zone. I think early he was swinging pretty good, and then he went through a period where he was probably trying to do too much, hit too many homers, and swinging a lot of pitches. But I think if you look at his at bats over the last month, he's been pretty spot on with the majority of his at-bats.
When asked about making adjustments to major league pitchers, he said he doesn't concentrate on the pitchers, he concentrates on himself. Do you think that's indicative of how he's able to maybe keep it simple for himself?
It is pretty simple for him, but he is making adjustments with pitchers. I mean, whether he realizes it or not, he's still understanding what they're trying to do to him. I think that's the more at-bats he has and the more pitches he sees, and you're going around again the second time of seeing guys that he's still able to make adjustments and understand that part of it. I don't think he sits there and thinks, this is exactly what this guy's going to throw, but he has a pretty good idea of what they're going to do, and he has the ability to change it. So I think, again, that's part of becoming more mature within the game of understanding what you're doing. I think the more experience you have, the better he's going to be.
Is that where he can get better, just the experience and the maturity? Because obviously he's putting up the numbers already.
Yeah, I think you can get better, but I don't think he's ever going to get to the point where he hits 500. I think his numbers are pretty damn good right now, but, I think the consistency of going through the year, he might not have a stretch where he struggles quite as much, but, guys, there's a limit really to what guys are going to hit, I think, statistically, but within the game and driving in runs and things like that, he's pretty good. And I think he's going to continue to get better as far as that in-game stuff of understanding what he's doing. And I think that's just part of being in the big leagues for the experience of it, and you're just going to get better. But statistically, I don't know what that's going to be. I just know he's a guy that seems to be getting better and smarter at what they're doing to him as he goes along.
His at-bats over the last month, he seems to be more average than power. How much of that is to do with the back, or is that?
I don't think that's anything really to do with the back, but he is using the whole field. I think that part of it is maybe the way they're pitching him. I have noticed there's a few shifts going on here and there, and I think he sees that right side pretty wide open. But the at-bats that he has gotten and going to the right side have been in more situations where we might be behind, you need a base runner, or just moving guys around the bases. I think he's been in the middle of most of the things we're doing if we're scoring runs. So a guy that can move it over there and have the hands to do it, you can do it. You can still hit home runs over there, but just the way he does it, I think, has been pretty technical.
In spring training, you saw right away that he was special. You could hit him third right off the bat. Do you envision this where he's at right now?
I don't know if anybody really envisions this. I mean, when you saw him and you heard the ball coming off the bat, I mean, you understand his power and things like that. But I think the consistency, you would probably have allowed a little more inconsistency. I think with going through your first year of seeing pitchers and knowing that the type of pitchers that you're going to see every day are pretty dang good. So, you don't really envision the numbers that you're really seeing, but I think once you see him and you see him, and it can make sense, just because you watch him on a daily basis and you see what he's capable of.
And we'll have more of Robin next week on the Spotlight.
I eat antipasta twice just...
Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria at Grand and Racine is the place to go before United Center Pavilion, Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox too. Dine in or carry out with great family recipes, including homemade pastas, steaks, seafood, a great fun bar area. Meet people. Have a tremendous time at Salerno's Restaurant and Pizzeria, Grand and Racine. You'll find a great variety of foods for you to enjoy at Salerno's.
Perfect Pitch Auto Repair at 108th and Kedzie is great. Tune-ups, transmissions, AC service, engine repair, tire repair, oil changes. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They do a great job for me, and they'll do a great job for you. They're quick, and they don't charge an arm and a leg. Perfect Pitch Auto Repair, 108th and Kedzie.
You've got to get to Shelton Fireworks, the world's largest warehouse, off Interstate 94, exit 22B in Porter, Indiana. Row after row of the best fireworks anywhere, from the little ones to the grand finales that'll end your show. Birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, in addition to the 4th of July. Just get over there to Shelton Fireworks now. Then you can reload by the time summer comes. Shelton Fireworks, I-94, exit 22B in Portage.
Reggie's is a great place with tons of music, interesting people and staff, great food and drink at 21st and State. And amongst the cool things they have, Benkowski Trivia. All shows are now Monday at 6 p.m. Reggie's, 21st and State, a fun place. 5 years ago, the White Sox sent Jim Thome to Los Angeles. And according to Kenny Williams, it wasn't Kenny Williams' idea.
Try to go after a championship. Unfortunately, even with the additions that we've made this year, and I do think that we're a better club than when we started the season, for whatever the reasons are, we have not played very well, as indicative of the road trip from hell. So at that time, I made the decision to at least explore opportunities, like I do every year, both in terms of the acquisition of players, or at least measuring their value, because you can get so close to players sometimes, and I'm very close to a lot of these guys. I think it's important that you gauge what the rest of the industry thinks, what another team's measure of value is. So this is nothing that is unusual. The only thing unusual is that people generally, when I am talking to other clubs, respect my desire to keep things private. Unfortunately, somebody did not do that. So, as we got down to the deadline day, I actually knew of the Los Angeles Dodgers' interest about an hour prior to game time, and I didn't think there was any way in hell that Jim would accept a deal to the National League. So I didn't even bother him before the game, thinking that, we had to win that game in Minnesota, let him keep his focus. As it turns out, after speaking with him after the game, I was surprised that he actually wanted, the opportunity to, not that I'm surprised, because the man has always expressed to me that personal accolades are not as important as ultimately getting a ring. So, in talking with his wife, his family, his agent and everything, he made the decision that he wanted to go, and I told him absolutely no harm, no foul, and I would support anything he wanted to do, and let him go. Contreras was a completely different situation, because here's a guy that pitched us to a championship, and he was relegated to bullpen duties and bullpen duties alone, and I just did not feel that was the way, going into a free agent year that he had. I didn't think that was the way to pay him back for all that he's done and the sacrifices that he's made. So it was very simply, I wanted to find him a spot, any spot, to where he could join a rotation and build up his value for the rest of this season, heading into his off season.
Well, Kenny, when you made the trade, there was a lot written and said about a white.
That's about all the time we have for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. This week's show has been brought to you by the Lansing Floral Shop.
Call for your flowers at 708-474-1212. Huck Finn, a great wide-ranging menu, along with donuts and ice cream. Open 24 hours at Archer and Damon, 67th and Pulaski, and 105th and Cicero.
Imprint Graphics, leaders in booklet, perfect bound saddle stitch. Very competitive pricing, 708-396-1010.